What's up, Year of Purpose podcast fans? This is Zephan Blacksburg, the host of the Year of Purpose podcast. And while you probably noticed that today I'm coming to you from a relatively different location, it's a little bit windier. It's definitely outside. You see some sunshine. You've got some boats back here. I am coming to you live today from San Diego, and I wanted to make this quick video because I just checked into my hotel for an amazing event called Dream Business Academy, and it's put on by someone who actually was on our podcast not too long ago. He goes by the name of Jim Palmer. Now, if you watched that podcast episode from a little while back, you'll notice that we did this little talk about this one word called decide. Decide. He was publishing this book called Decide, and it's all about how when you start to make the decision and you start to take action, that's where the ball gets moving, and that's where you get to where you want to be. Now, the really cool thing about this is almost exactly 2 years to today is when I decided to leave my full-time job. Now, I know this was one of the scariest things that I ever had to do in my life, but I knew that it was the right direction to take. And look, I'm here in San Diego for the next 5 days, and I'm super stoked about it because I've been to California before. I have never been to San Diego. I wanted to tell you guys a little bit about the journey into getting here, because so many people are like, oh, I can never do that, or oh, I couldn't do this, or I couldn't do that, or I don't even know how to start a business. So let me tell you this. The day that I decided to leave my job, I was working for Apple Retail at the Genius Bar at the Apple Store, and we had a customer walk in. And, you know, people bring in stuff to us to get fixed. They never come in because they're happy. You know, they don't come in, they're like, oh my gosh, I love my iPhone. You know, this is awesome. I just wanted to tell you. Okay, bye, right? Like, that never happens. So they always bring in stuff. They're always disappointed or angry, and our job is to, like, sell them back into the product. And this was something that was really tough for me, but this one particular day, a woman came in, and I saw her. The second she hit the door, she locked eyes with me and just boom, 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 boom. She came straight for the back. Sorry if you guys, there's a helicopter back here. I think there's like a naval station or something over here. But hang on one second. It might get a little bit loud. But basically, she comes running to the back of the store. And I knew right away, you know, in the back of my head, you kind of get that little voice that goes, uh-oh, right? Like, this is when you know that this is just not going to end well. And so she comes running to the back. She comes up to me, boom, boom, boom. You need to fix this right now. I'm like, whoa, like, hello, I'm just here to help you, right? And so I was a little bit confused, but I was like, look, I'm going to stay relaxed. I'm just going to deal with this, handle it the same way that I always do when it comes to working with clients and customers. And so basically what happened was, you know, I helped her out. She wasn't exactly ecstatic, but I got her in to be helped. And while this is all going on, she's causing a scene, right? And, you know, it's kind of like that whole story where you don't mess with the people that make your food, right? Here comes another helicopter again. Sorry guys if it's a little bit noisy, but it's kind of a cool area down here. But you know that old saying of, you don't mess with the people that cook your food, right? Like, they'll spit in it, they'll do stuff to it. You don't want to do that. And so she kept messing and kept pushing with us. And eventually she had caused such a scene that we actually got we had in-store plainclothes police officers to remove her from the store. Now, mind you, this is a little bit embarrassing because the store is packed. It's like a busy day. And, you know, she gets removed in front of everyone, and she's yelling at me, so everyone's looking at me. And I look over in the corner, and I see one of my previous freelance clients from the time in between my previous job and when I started to work at Apple. And, you know, he's kind of giving me this look of like, what is going on, you know? And finally he comes over after she gets pulled out by security, and he's like, what was up with that? And I said, well, you know, that's my job. I deal with people who are upset all the time. And, you know, it's a little embarrassing because at that point in time, I was tired of it. And that really was kind of the last straw for me. So he said, look, let me take you out to dinner. What time do you get off work? And I told him. He came back, we met up, we grabbed dinner. He's like, what are you doing there? And I said, you know what? This was just an in-between thing for me. You know, I had lost my job because my previous company had gotten bought out. I didn't really know what I was doing, and that's okay. You don't have to know what you're doing all the time. You just have to keep moving forward. And I had gotten so comfortable in that position of just showing up, going to work, getting a paycheck, wash, rinse, repeat. I know you've been there. I know you've done that. You've got the t-shirt. You're tired of it, right? I was in the same boat. So he asks me, look, what are you making right now? Like, what would it take to get you out of here and to be able to make your own income? And it was embarrassing. I told him I was making somewhere between about $27,000 and $30,000 for the year, and that is not a whole lot. It's more than a lot of people have, but the truth of the matter is, it's not prosperity. It's not living life where you want it, because that's not going to afford me the ability, like I have right now, to travel here to San Diego. Now, the truth be told, I'm not making millions of dollars right now. I'm not even making $100,000 right now, but I'm making way more than that. And so here's what happened. Here's how I got out of that cycle and how I decided to make a difference. So he pulls the bartender over and asks for a little bar napkin. It's like a little square napkin, and he takes a pen and he draws on it 12 steps, like a little step ladder. And he says, how much do you make right now? And I think I said like $30,000. Put that at the top of the top stair. At the bottom, put a 0. And he's like, pull out your calculator, divide it by 12. So I'm going to do this here with you guys to show you that I'm not making these numbers up. So I'm pulling out my calculator, and I'm going to take $30,000, okay? $30,000 divide by 12, $2,500. So that's how much I had to make each and every month to replace my existing income, right? Then he says, take that and divide it by 30. So divide it by 30. If I'm working every day of the year, this is just hypothetical, so just stick with me for a second. I don't know if you can see this, but it says $83. $83 is how much I would have to make if I worked every single day of the year to replace my existing income. Now, he went ahead and did the math again, and he said, look, well, let's just assume 52 weeks in a year. Let's say you take 2 weeks off for vacation. So 50 weeks out of the year that you're working and 5 days a week. 250, right? And I'll do the math here just to show you guys. 50 times 5 days a week. So 50 weeks times 5 days a week, 250. Okay, so we're going to take that number of 30,000, the income I had to replace, and divide it by 250. And what that comes down to is $120. That means that if I work 5 days a week, like any other normal person, 5 days a week, and I work 50 weeks out of the year, that gives me 2 weeks for vacation, I only have to make $120 a day. Now, I don't know about you, but I know kids who were shoveling snow in our driveways and mowing our lawn for 20 bucks a pop. So at the end of the day, if you could do that, 5-6 times a day, only 5 days a week, the truth of the matter is you can replace a $30,000 income. So next time you guys think, oh, it's too hard, or oh, I can never do that, I want you to go back and to remember that story of how we broke it down. Like, let's break it down to its bare minimum, to its bare core of what it is. What is your problem? How do we break it down into small, approachable, and attainable and achievable steps so that we can chew that monster up and end up on top? So look, 2 years ago, I was at my job. I'm not saying you have to quit your job, but I'm saying wherever it is that you want to be, you need to focus on that right now, because if that's what you truly want, why aren't you chasing it each and every single day? So 2 years ago, I determined what I wanted was this. I wanted to work for myself. I wanted to make my own hours. I wanted to work on my own terms. That means I work with who I want and when I want. Now, I know that this sounds really picky, but the truth of the matter is you can do this. You can decide, going back to that word decide, to do whatever you want. You can re-script that frame of your life. So think of your life as a movie, okay? If you think of your life as a movie and each little frame is a little piece of your life, whether it's financial, whether it's your health and fitness, whether it's your personal life, your family life, think of each and every frame. Do this for me. Grab a pen and paper when you're done watching this video and write this down. Pick all the frames that are important to you. Family, personal life, relationships, financials, work, maybe even food. You care that much about what food you want to eat. That might come under nutrition, and that's cool. That's okay. You should be planning that stuff. But decide to take each and every frame, examine what is it that you have now and where is it that you want to be, okay? And make sure that if this does not equal this, let's figure out the steps in between to change it. So just like that little 12-step staircase, I want you to figure out what it takes for you to get from here to here, or vice versa. Maybe you have everything you want in this one area, so maybe you want to go and start working more on this area, and that's perfectly okay too. You might have certain aspects of your life where you're just like, well, it's pretty perfect how it is. So if that's how it is, that's fine. leave it how it is. But, I just wanted to get on to make this video to let you guys know that I'm in San Diego because I'm here for Jim Palmer's Dream Business Academy. He was on our podcast, and the truth of the matter is his book, Decide, is all about doing this. So if you guys just decide to do what it is you'd really like to do with your life, you're going to be living a year of purpose. So Zephan Blacksburg here from San Diego, and I can't wait to talk to you guys again soon.